I'm not someone who scares easy. I've driven I-20 at night more times than I can count. But what happened last November still messes with my head. I was closing at the Starbucks on Ponce de Leon. 23 years old, saving up for a better car, working doubles when I could. That night, I locked up around 11:30, grabbed my venti cold brew, extra ice because I'm weird like that, and headed east toward Decatur, where I was crashing at my buddy Thane's place. The highway was pretty empty, just a few semis and the occasional sedan. My radio was stuck on some talk show about conspiracy theories or something. I wasn't really listening. I remember thinking about how I needed to return my mom's Tupperware before she got mad at me again. Stupid little details like that stick with you. Around 11:40, I saw the orange cones, a whole line of them narrowing the lanes. My first thought was construction, but then I saw the cars. 4 or 5 unmarked vehicles, dark sedans that looked like they came from a rental lot. No police cruisers, no flashing lights really. Just those orange cones and some guys with flashlights. Traffic slowed to a crawl. The car ahead of me got waved through pretty quick. Then it was my turn. This guy walked up to my window. He wasn't in a police uniform, just jeans, a jacket, and one of those yellow reflective vests you can buy at any hardware store. He had a flashlight though, and he shined it right in my face. "Evening," he said. Real casual. "DUI checkpoint, license and registration." I fumbled for my phone to show him my digital license. He looked at it for maybe 2 seconds. "Step out of the vehicle, please." "Wait, what? I haven't been drinking." "Standard procedure. Just step out." My hands were shaking a little. Not because I was guilty of anything, but because something felt wrong. The guy's badge, if you could call it that, looked like something printed on a laminator. But I got out anyway. What else was I supposed to do? Another guy appeared, older, with a clipboard. He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "We're gonna need to check your trunk," he said. "Safety reasons." Do you have to?" The smile disappeared. "Sir, this is a routine stop. We can do this easy or we can do this the hard way." I should have just left. But I was 23 and stupid and honestly scared they'd chase me down if I tried. So I said no, politely. I'd rather not consent to a search. That's when things got weird. The first guy pulled out this little handheld camera, like a GoPro or something. He pointed it at my face. "We're recording this for county records," he said. "Date, time, vehicle plate number." He rattled off my license plate. How did he already know it? They asked me more questions. Where was I coming from? Where was I going? Did I have anything illegal in the car? The whole time that camera was on me. I felt like I was being cataloged or something. The other cars that got stopped? Same thing. Cameras, questions. One lady looked like she was crying. Eventually, they let me go. No breathalyzer, no actual checkpoint procedures. Just let me go. I drove to Thane's place and didn't sleep much. Something about it kept bugging me. The vests looked real. The cones looked official. But everything else felt off. A week later, I got an email. No subject line. Just a video file and a message. The video was grainy footage from that night. My car. My face. My license plate circled in red marker on a screenshot. The email said I'd been flagged for felony possession during the stop. It said I had 72 hours to pay $3,500 or they'd send the footage to my employer and the police. I almost threw up reading it. I called Thane. He told me to check Reddit, Twitter, anywhere. Turns out I wasn't alone. At least a dozen people posted about the same fake checkpoint, same location, same setup, same blackmail emails. It was a scam. A really elaborate, really fucked up scam. These guys would set up fake checkpoints on highways late at night. They'd use real-looking equipment, act official, record everyone, then send blackmail emails claiming they had evidence of crimes. Most people would panic and pay because who wants their boss seeing them at a DUI checkpoint, real or fake? The police eventually shut it down, but not before these guys made off with God knows how much money. They never caught everyone involved. Just a couple low-level guys who flipped on the operation. I didn't pay. I went to the cops with the email, and they added it to the case file. Nothing ever came of it. But here's what still gets me. I drive I-20 all the time, and sometimes late at night, I'll see orange cones. I'll see cars pulled over. And I have to remind myself that it's probably real this time. Probably. The scary part wasn't some ghost or monster. It was realizing how easy it is to fake authority. How a vest and a clipboard can make you obey. How trust gets weaponized. I still drink cold brew. I still drive at night. But I don't stop for anything unless I see actual marked police cars now. Some highways aren't haunted by spirits. They're haunted by something worse. People. I was driving from Chicago to Kansas City for a job thing. Just me and my buddy Thorne in his old Subaru. It was supposed to be easy, but at 4:06 a.m., the GPS flipped out because of construction. That detour onto some empty state road in Missouri? Yeah, that's where it all went wrong. Fog everywhere like you couldn't see 10 feet. We needed a break bad. I'm Rylan, by the way. I work at this small tech firm in Chicago, fixing computers and stuff. Nothing fancy. Thorne's my roommate, weird name I know, but his parents were into old books or something. We decided to drive through the night to beat traffic. Big mistake. The interstate shut down, so GPS says take Route 24, this 2-lane nothing road. No lights, just trees and fog swallowing everything. Thorne was snoring in the passenger seat, and I was chugging coffee from a thermos that tasted like old socks because I forgot to rinse it. We saw a sign for a rest area. Thank God, I thought. My bladder was killing me, pulled in, and it was this sad little spot. Couple of porta potties that smelled like hell even from the car. A Circle K store all shuttered up with boards on the windows, and one vending machine glowing under a busted light, selling Coke and Monster for $2.50. That's it. No picnic tables, no nothing, just gravel and weeds. 3 guys were there, leaning on this dirty white minivan. Looked like they'd been there a while, smoking cigarettes. One had a beard down to his chest. Another was skinny with tattoos all over his arms. The third one, shorter, kept fiddling with his phone. They nodded at us when we got out. "You boys lost?" the bearded one asked, voice all gravelly. "Nah, just stretching," I said. Thorne grabbed a Monster from the machine. I went to the porta potty, came back, and they were still there. The short one offered me a smoke. "Need a light?" he said, holding out this cheap Bic lighter. "Sure." I took it, lit up even though I don't smoke much anymore. Felt polite, you know? We chatted a bit. They asked where we were headed. "Kansas City," Thorne said. "Got a meeting with some clients." Then the bearded guy goes, "Who you work for? Sounds important." I laughed it off. "Just a tech place, nothing big." Told them about my favorite coffee, black with 2 sugars, because why not? Paydays every other Friday, I mentioned when Thorne joked about being broke. Even said our car insurance was through Geico, that lizard company, because the skinny guy asked about road trips and wrecks. It was casual talk, like killing time. They gave directions back to the interstate. "Watch the fog," the short one said, handing back the lighter. We thanked them, got in the car, drove off. Whole thing took maybe 10 minutes. Felt normal, but something nagged at me. Like, why were they out there at 4 a.m.? No big deal, I told myself. People camp or whatever. Sun came up as we hit Kansas City, parked at the hotel, checked in. That's when I noticed the scratch on the rear window. Long, slow line, etched right in the shape of our license plate number, like someone traced it with a key or knife. "What the hell?" Thorne said. We figured maybe a rock from the road or something, brushed it off. Inside the car, I flipped down the sun visor to grab my sunglasses. Something fell out, a little black camera mount, the kind for dash cams with a micro SD card stuck in it. "Dude, this ain't ours," I said. Thorne popped the card into his phone. Blank, but it had been recording something, files deleted recent. We tossed it, thinking maybe the last owner left it. Car was Thorne's, bought used from some guy in Milwaukee. Meeting went fine. Drove back to Chicago that night. Forgot about it all. Week later, my coworker Sable, unique name, her mom was French or something, comes up to me. "Hey Rylan, got this weird call. Guy asking if I like my coffee black with 2 sugars. Said he knows payday's Friday." I stared at her. "What?" Then it kept happening. Another guy, Kip, gets a call about his Geico policy. "They knew my renewal date," he said. "Freaked me out." Over the next month, like 5 coworkers got these odd calls from unknown numbers, repeating stuff we told those guys at the rest stop. Harmless details, but twisted. One call to our boss mentioned Thorne's client meeting in Kansas City, exact time. No threats, just repeating facts like they were testing us. I tried calling the numbers back, blocked or disconnected. Thorne and I drove back to that rest area one weekend. Gone. Like it never was. Just an empty lot with weeds. No vending machine, no porta potties. Circle K sign still there, but faded. Asked locals in a nearby town, Wentzville. That place closed years ago, an old lady at a gas station said. Nobody stops there. That's when it hit me. Those men weren't random. The rest area was a setup, a spot to snag info from travelers. License plates scratched to remember us. Camera planted to spy, maybe. But why us? We ain't rich. Maybe identity theft, slow style. Using what we blabbed to fish more. Co-workers thought it was coincidence. Probably spam, Sable said. But I knew. One night I got a call myself. Unknown number. Guy says, "Black coffee, 2 sugars, payday Friday, safe travels." Click. I sat there, phone in hand, thinking about that fog. Thorne moved out after that, said Chicago felt off. Me? I still drive, but no detours. Check visors every time. And that scratch on the window? Never fixed it. Reminder. Sometimes I wonder if they got more from that camera. What was on the card before delete? Leaves me uneasy, like they're still out there, waiting for the next car. Fog rolls in, and I remember the vending machine light, alone on that road. Shit, makes you think twice about talking to strangers. Irrelevant detail. That trip, I left my laundry in the washer at home. Came back to moldy clothes. Stunk up the apartment for days. And Thorne's cat, Whisk, always scratched the couch arms when we were gone. Heard it even now, late nights. Weird normal stuff. The office floor tiles click funny when you walk fast, like loose change in a pocket. Kip always complained about it. Anyway, that's my story, true as it gets. Don't know the end yet. maybe there ain't one. I stopped at a pilot off I-95 for a cracked McCafe and a sausage biscuit. What I found under the canopy that night changed how I look at strangers on the road forever. My name is Rook Helms. I was driving from Philadelphia to Jacksonville and was tired. I wanted greasy food and a hot cup. The pilot off I-95 looked alive in the dark. I bought a cracked McCafe coffee and a sausage biscuit. The dash clock read 1:22 a.m. I looked at it a lot. At pump 4, a small SUV sat under the fluorescent canopy. A rear-facing infant car seat in the back was rocking, slow. No parent around. The engine was warm. I felt strange standing there with the pump. Gaw, a trucker leaning on his rig, came over and said, "I'll watch it. Go get your biscuit." He had the face of someone who had seen too much. Inside the store, the air smelled like oil and warm dough. A teenage clerk with smeared lipstick, Zadie Morn, looked at me and said, "They came in a minute ago." She said it like she said that all the time. Her phone buzzed. She pointed to the biscuits, but slow, like she was waiting for the seconds to pass. I came back out. The baby seat kept moving. A delivery truck idled far away. A man in a reflective vest smoked by the exit. A dark sedan pulled into the corner and sat there where it was hard to see. The man inside checked his watch and tapped the wheel every few seconds. I told myself not to worry. I told myself a lot. Minutes passed. 10, 20. The woman didn't appear. Gaw made small talk about highway food and trucks. I laughed because not laughing felt worse. Then a small woman ran out of the restroom and went straight to the SUV. She touched the empty buckle and said she had fallen asleep on the bathroom floor. She hugged the empty seat and kept repeating that. People said, "Oh God," and handed her a paper towel. Gaw offered her a cigarette like it was a normal thing. I left after she drove off. I almost followed them. When the SUV rolled away, I found my foot pressing the gas and my mouth shaping. I'll tail them to make sure they get off the exit, which makes no sense now. Gaw saw me. He stepped in front of his truck and gave a slow shake of his head, then pointed with 2 fingers at the sedan parked across the lot and tapped his temple like he knew tricks. He didn't yell. He didn't have to. I kept my foot down. The sedan idled, then fell back. I felt stupid for wanting to be a hero. After I drove away, I sat on a bridge and ate the rest of the biscuit. The bridge boards creaked the same way my old floor creaked when my cat ran across it. It is a stupid memory, but it stuck. I thought about keys and how I left my jacket unzipped that night. A small thing, but one I still remember. I told myself to stop thinking about it. I did not. Weeks later, the neighborhood watch post changed how I remembered each small moment. The post had a grainy image and said this was how people were baited. The word scam was there. In the comments, people told stories of being led to a backlot and then robbed. One man wrote he had followed, and then 3 men jumped him. Another said he nearly got shot. The names of cities, Baltimore, Richmond, Wilmington, were in the thread like coordinates. It fit with the sedan waiting in the corner. I called the pilot. They had no report. The watch group told me to be careful. Some people mentioned a Gaw who warned them. The sedan and Zadie stuck in my head. After that, I stopped trusting the kindness that comes easy on the highway. Now when I stop at a truck place, I sit with doors locked, engine warm. I tell my sister where I am if I go night driving. I lock my things in the trunk and keep the radio on. Little rituals I never thought I'd do. Sometimes I try to tell myself maybe the woman really did fall asleep and it was all fine. Maybe the watch post jumped on something that wasn't true. Maybe I let my head make a story from small bits. But then I remember the sedan and the way the lot felt like a stage. It sat wrong in my chest. I never found out what happened to the SUV from that night. I have seen similar cars at other stops, and I drive away. Once outside Wilmington, I sat in my car and watched a small SUV with a rear-facing seat. The engine was cold that time. A woman in a hoodie walked by and didn't look. I drove on and called the watch group again. They did not answer for a while. That is the part that makes me uncomfortable. How easy it is to make someone help. You can set a seat, make a clock, read a time, and someone will come. You can stage a woman who looks real and tired. Maybe she is, maybe not. I only know how I felt. Sometimes I mutter motherfucker and ask if I failed a kid or saved myself. I still smell cheap coffee and think of the cracked cup. I still see a baby seat and feel a small, sick twist in my plan to help. I remember Gau's rough hand on his cigarette and Zadie saying the same line twice. The highway taught me that being good can be made into a trick. That is the ugly part that stays with me. Every stop now brings a small, cold question inside too.